Welcome to Your Inner Artist with Julie. I'm Julie, and I am coming back into doing some lives and doing some recordings to show you what I've been up to. I wanted to share some of my artwork as well as my other project of visiting the national parks and monuments and painting them. So let me show you first what I am working on currently. Right now I am working on a digital project, friend's cat, actually a friend of a friend, and I'm working on a cat that is digital on my PC. Now, I recently bought a Wacom drawing tablet, and it comes with this pen, and I'll show you the tablet in just a moment. But you can really more of like a drawing mode, you can really do some cool painting effects with this pen. It's really, really neat. I love the variety that you can get with this, and I think it's a really good investment. So, and it's neater, it's cleaner than using paint, so it's just very different. I kind of go back and forth from doing acrylics to digital art, and I don't know. I kind of, when I'm doing the digital, I feel like I kind of miss the actual paint, but I really enjoy doing this digital work here. So I'm going to turn my camera around here so you can see the cat that I'm working on. So bear with me one moment. Okay, I think I've got it adjusted okay. And I'll show you and give you a little demo of how I do this. It's really cool. So I use this as my mouse, so it's basically my mouse, and I write and select everything from the tablet down here below on my desk. So right now I have decided to select a color I was using. So I started this on my laptop, and I have now switched over to the Wacom tablet. And in order to continue with the same colors that I have going here, this vase is actually, this is metal down here, and then it's glass up here. So with the metal, I'm getting reflection from the cat. So I want to continue the same colors on the reflection that I have in the cat, and that's what I'm going to choose. So when I go up here, I don't think you can see that far, but on the left side, the far left, I choose the eyedropper, which I can take this eyedropper, I think you can see, touch the gray that I used here, and that selects the color that I'm using. And I don't know if you can see it way off to the side here, but that same gray shows up there. So now I will switch over to my paintbrush, which is another little icon to select here, and I am using round mixing brush. Looks like that's what I had it set at. I'm going to switch it to oil paint and see how that effect is. I also want to change the size of my brush. At the moment you can see the size of the circle. That's a pretty good size. Looks like it says 80, so I'm going to just start working with that. And again, I think it was a round brush I'm using, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get some color on here. You can see how it makes some really cool brush strokes, and you just go with it. I'm going to kind of get my outline going here of this fella. Actually, I don't even remember if this is a girl or boy. I'll have to look up the name. So I'm going to continue, and again, I'm watching the screen, but I'm drawing down below on my desk on the tablet. And that part has taken a little getting used to, because previously with my laptop, I am able to draw right directly on the screen, and I can see exactly what I'm doing. So it's a little adjustment. You've got the cursor, which is the circle when you've got the paintbrush going, and you can see where that is to direct where the pen is going down on the tablet. So I'm just kind of following through here. I think I'm even going to make my brush a little bigger, and you can probably see me select. I'm going to select 120. I think 120 is a bigger size, and yep, that's a little bigger. So I'm going to get some of this dark gray in, and then I usually like to, well, let's start from the beginning. I usually like to start with the background and get the background set in, and then kind of like around the animal. And I like to get that done so it just kind of gives me a focus once I finish those, and I can just focus on the animal. And then I start with medium tones, and just like with regular paint, I start with the medium tones, get that shade filled in, and again, you can make some, whoops, and something I also learned is when you make a little mistake where you don't want it, like I put up there on the face of the cat, supposedly Control Z will take it away. Shift, no. So I am actually going to hit my erase. It's a really small size. And there is a quick shortcut with the keyboard, and I have the keyboard down below under the desk here on a slider, so I can usually Control Z and it will take out that line that I just made that I didn't want. And I'm going to reselect my paintbrush and keep filling in, and I'm just gonna focus on the body here, and then I will get back to the face. And I like to save these paint colors down at the bottom. I don't know that you can see that, but I'm going to hit the plus sign, and that will save this gray for me, so I can come back to it when I want to go use the same color on the face. So I'm going to go through here. I see, I don't know if you can see this, the glass vase to the left of the cat has a lot of the same cat color because it's obviously transparent, but it has a lot of white and some turquoise reflecting off that placemat the cat is sitting on. So I'm going to just leave that right now and just get the cat hair filled in. So this is just basically what I do. Get the medium tones going, then I can put in the darker areas showing shading, or just the different colors and textures of the animal. And I can also, I'll show you something else here that I use a lot, is the blending tool. That's really nice to kind of blend in all these brush strokes that I'm creating. And let me get some more of this in here. I'm going to go right around this little face and fill that in. And I'm going to come down and do part of him. When I sketch this on, either on the canvas or on the software here, I just do a quick sketch of the outline of the animal, and then some of the main parts of it, like the eyes, the nose, ears, any collars that they might be wearing. I like to have it in there, kind of rough, but there, so I can plan the fur around like this collar here and tags. I'm just going to kind of color here to get this filled in. And then I get pretty close to the other objects. But I can clean up the lines when I put in the vase that is more in the foreground. It's in front of the cat, so that fills that in. I'm going to fill this edge over here. And this is going to be an 8x10 portrait that I will have printed for this gal. Now I'm going to find my blending tool. There it is. So selecting my blending tool, I'm going to keep the brush size pretty big, and you can just blend away. So think of the blending tool as like, let's say if you've ever used charcoal or pastels, and you're like using either your fingers or paper towel or tissue or something to blend the colors in, or just fill in your lines. That's like what I'm doing here. I'm just kind of blurring it or just blending it in, getting rid of brush strokes. I like to blend colors together with this tool. So I can show you in a moment here. So I mostly get the lines or the brush strokes kind of smoothed out a little bit. You can see it better right here, how blendy it is. Almost like a wash for watercolor. So I'm going to push some of the gray to the edge of the face here. So that kind of makes it nice and smooth and erases some of the brush strokes. Now I'm going to throw in, looks like kind of a medium brown. So I'm going to go down here and select what browns do I already have? Here's a medium brown. I think I'll choose this big brush. I'll select 120 again, and on the side of the cat, I think you can see it right here next to the vase, there's a little bit of brown. I see some other brown tones like in the feet a little bit around the ears, a little in the face and his little nose. So I will put some brown into those areas, and I'll just show you how I make that happen and then just kind of blend it. Whoops, I gotta take it off blending so I can paint. Alright, so right about here, I'm just getting some of this brown in. And again, I'm going to blend this so it blends in with the gray. And it just kind of goes up a little bit towards his back. I think there's a little bit more brown on his back, so I'm going to bring a little brown through here, and I will blend again. Let me get, and I almost feel like I'm going with the growth of the hair. I like to go along that same direction. So there's a little bit of brown here, and I'll probably add some more gray just to keep some more, I don't know, just to blend it some more. I'll add a little more gray. Add a little brown over here. And while I've got the brown going, I'm going to make his ear up here a little bit brown. Like that. That's mostly gray, but I wanted to get a little brown in here. It's more interesting when you're adding different colors. I mean, you can look at an animal and say, yeah, they're mostly black or mostly gray. Obviously, tabbies have lots of different cool, wonderful colors. This fella looks like he's probably kind of a gray stripe, probably tortoiseshell. I had a cat similar once upon a time, and I think I'll get his nose. I'm going to reduce my brush size by almost half. You can see my cursor, the circle is much smaller. And I'm going to create the end of the nose. And then, because I am such a detail-oriented person, I will, before I'm done, when I add details and highlights and such, I like to go in with a small point on this pen and clean up some details, like make some whiskers, define the eyes, stuff like that. So I think I have the shape of that little nose. And I'll be adding a little bit of black, I think, too, but not yet. I think I'm going to bring this up a little bit so there's more brown to blend with as it blends into the gray of the nose. And something like that. Looks like it kind of curves out a little bit. Alright, then this cat has green, cool green eyes. Where did I see? There's a little bit of brown down on probably around their neck and shoulders. So I'm going to increase my brush. Whoops, not that big. Pretty big though. I just want to get a little brown in here, so then when I start blending some more, I've got it. So there's kind of a mixture of gray and brown and blacks around here. I think I'm going to carry that all the way over. And this is parts of the, looks like there's a couple bells on the collar. So I'm going to try and leave them and bring a little bit of this brown over here, although it's shaded, so, or shadowed, I should say. And I will want more darker gray and browns over on this side, being in the shadow, so you can kind of see where I'm going. Whoops. On the right side of the cat here. The other shoulder is really shadowed from light, so I'm going to throw a little more brown in at the bottom. And you can see those brush strokes, though. It's more than just like a simple line. So many, I couldn't even tell you. There's probably over 600 different types of brush strokes that you can create with this. So cool. So again, I'm kind of going with the direction of the hair growth. It just looks more natural, I think. And again, I am going to put a lot of gray in this fella, but I do see a lot of browns. I'm going to bring that down here. Like so. I'm going to fill in a little more here. And then a lot more shadows down here, the underside that's not getting a lot of light. So I'm going to fill that in with some brown. And I'll create a darker shadow with darker gray and black and stuff. And my next go through and my part 2. I'm going to put in a little bit. I'll probably end up blending a lot of this area, more gray, but I do want to I want to bring the brown throughout the cat. I just like having the different shades in them. And I just think it kind of brings it all together. So got his back, side, a little bit in the ear. I think I'll put some more on the ear, but I need a smaller brush. Choose an 80, and then I think I'm gonna bring the brown all the way around the ear. And again, I'm not really worrying about the lines so much right now. I just want to get the color in, because I can go back in, and when I create the fur, I like to make it hairy, which makes it a lot of fun. And that kind of cleans up the lines. So I don't worry about these lines up here around the ears, around the back right now. Get some of this, and then I'm going to go up and around this ear, just on the outside, because the inside is a little more, it's lighter, more of a cat flesh tone. And I'm just going to follow along. And again, this side is more shadowed. So, oh, whoops, lost my picture. All right, so in the photo, I see more brown and a little bit of pink in this ear, and the other ear, because there's less light on it, is darker. So I am going to go back and add some brown here. Just kind of get the shape of this ear here. And it does take a little getting used to when you are, like the eye-hand coordination, with your eyes looking here and your pen down here. It's a little different for the brain. I hope that's a good thing for the brain. And I'm going to fill this in along here. I'm going to press harder because that will give me a darker shade of this brown. Again, the less light, we're going to have darker tones. So there's some darker ear, and it's a little wider. Now I'll really highlight this with the hair in the ears, so that'll look kind of cool. But I do need to get a base of the brown and gray, so the white hairs will stand out. And you can see all through there. So I'll probably end up blending the inside of the ear here some more, and mostly filled in with just blending. All right, I think I'm going to add some more brown here. The top of the nose, I can see some more brown. And so what I really do is just get colors down and then just blend it all together so it's all nicely blended. Alright, there's some tan in the face. I'll probably do that later. I like to get more of the dark stuff. I'll do a little bit of the darker shades here, and then I'll take a break and I will show you the finished product as soon as I'm done. So here's some black, and again this is going to get blended, but I just want to get this black in, and you can see as I add one layer, it's a little bit thin. When you put other layers on top, it gets more and more opaque and it covers nicer and nicer. But I like the medium tones that it gives here. So this black goes right up to the brown, all the way down in kind of a curve here. And then it's kind of coming from the top of the back, so I'm going to bring this up a little bit. And so this part of the face, let's see, I've got some more lighter gray in this area, so I'm going to leave some of this, which will be more medium gray. But I do want to get this contrast of the black that I see on the cat's side, and bring that all the way down. I need a bigger brush. And I'm gonna go right up against some of this brown here. I will be blending it, but I do want to get enough of the black in here. And again, remember, I don't have to worry about my lines, going over my lines, because I'm going to clean that up when I create that vase. Alright, and I've got some dark going all the way down, kind of hidden behind the vase here. So I'm going to go right up against the lines of my vase. And then continue down. You can see I've got this dark area here that I'm making, and then a dark area. Looks like it might be where the cat's upper arm is, like the shoulder area. So that darker area I'm going to make. I think I want a little smaller brush, and I'm going to bring that line down like so. And as it gets towards the middle area here of the vase part, it kind of gets wider. But you can see it's kind of almost a straight line all the way down, right? And bring that all the way down to the vase here. So this is how I use my drawing tablet. It's a lot of fun, much less messy, but it is quite different from using paint. I do really like it though. I'm gonna work on a little spot here. I'm going to do my dropper and match this gray. Go back to my paintbrush and bring the gray back here where I missed. And then I can blend the gray and the black and the brown. All right, let's do a little blending and then I will let you go here. All right, back up here. I need a smaller brush. And I'm just going to kind of blend it in like I did before, but blending in brown with the gray and black with the brown. And like I said, once I get it all the color in that I want, I create some detail work with hairs, some fine hairs. You can see some of the gray hairs overlapping the dark, like on the side of the cat's neck here. That will kind of, I'll highlight that with some lighter gray, and I think it'll look pretty neat. Kind of realistic. I couldn't even really tell you what my style is. Sort of realistic with, I don't know, maybe an eclectic. So just blending this in. I think I'm gonna even reduce my brush a little more. All right, gonna blend this in here and blend in my brown. I'll probably put some gray on top of this brown once I get it blended in. You don't see the brown so much, but it's kind of a blend of gray, dark gray and a little brown. So I want to get that base of brown down. And this is all I do. So I keep blending and blending till I'm happy with it. I'm happy with that medium tone, what I'm still working on here. And then I go to the darks, and then I will do highlights and then details. And I kind of have done the same process for every pet that I've done. And when I was teaching painting your own pets, it's the same process. I start with the background, fill in the background. We do medium tones of the animal that you're doing, and then you do dark tones, and then finish with lighter tones or highlights and details. So as I get this kind of blended here, and I will record some more of this, and I will probably put it on because it will take me some time to finish it, but I'll put it on as a hyperlapse, I guess, so it's faster. so you don't have to sit for hours and hours and watch. It's hard when you're a perfectionist. It's hard to put the paintbrush down. So well, it's blended. I'm just going to keep blending all these browns in with the gray. And then I'll be adding more gray and blacks. Alright, that's blended enough for now. And his little nose, I need to go to a smaller brush. I'm going to go to 50. Blend his little nose. See, I don't even worry about if I'm putting my hand or my elbow in the paint. That's what's glorious about digital painting. And let's blend up these ears a tad. Shoop. Go right around that little curve. And down. And this ear. Good job. Blend those lines in. Those kind of harsh lines, that's what I like to kind of blend out, is the harsher lines. I want to get this a little bit more curved. But I'll do this more when I return with some gray. And I'll blend this out some more too as I add the lighter tones for the reflection on this metal vase. And I didn't get to this the other day. So just like that. So there you have it. That is how I work on a digital pet portrait with my Wacom drawing tablet. And it does take me a while, so I'll be spending several more hours to finish this cat. But like I said, I will record it as I do it, so you can kind of watch along in the next video, and then I will show you the finished product. So stick here, keep an eye on my other projects, and I'll let you know as I move along with these. I think I said I have 4, and 2 of them are digital and the other 2 are acrylic. So that will be something fun to look forward to. So stop by and keep an eye out for the rest of the videos. Catch you later.